National Coming Out Day was actually has already come and gone, but this is my really my first video that I that's that I actually thought of to address the issues of it. I never actually really told my coming out story, and I thought I might as well give it. Um, just because, well, people might want to know, especially those that haven't come out yet. They need to know the coming out stories, hear them. Uh, with me, it was I've known something was different about me since as long as I can remember. As early as my memories go, I can remember that I felt that I was a girl. But the really interesting thing here is I was about 2 or 3, and I was thinking, it's a phase. I'll get over it. At that young, I knew what the concept of a phase was, which is rather interesting. But by the time, it took me a long time to realize that it can't be a phase. Phases end. Phases end. That's the thing. They don't get stronger. So I still hadn't come out to myself my junior year of high school. I was in the locker room, uh, changing after football practice, and not because of the guys changing, but just something hit me of I'm bi. I just knew it. I wasn't attracted to anybody on the football team. My gosh, they were all just lunks, ugly as heck, and well, even if I would have been physically attracted to them, their homophobia really made it so it was just no. Um, wouldn't have ever wanted to even think about liking them. But it was just a thing of I just suddenly realized, and I kept it to myself until I came out to my girlfriend. And what the way I did that was I I let her read something I'd written where it mentioned it, and it also mentioned that I wanted to be a girl. I still hadn't really thought of exactly what it was with that, but she read it. She acknowledged that bit and said that she was fine with it. And it was a big thing for me that she was fine with it. Later, after I graduated, I was going to my dad's house for the last time before we moved over to Humboldt. And I'd been scrounging, trying to tell my mom for a while. I wrote down a note before and put it in my pocket, and it got all sweaty, and so I had to rewrite it. And I stuffed it in her sleeping bag before leaving. Um, it mentioned that I was bi and that I wanted to be a girl. Again, same sort of thing. She called at my dad's house um, while I was there and assured me that she still loved me and everything like that. And it was really helpful to me. My problem is through all of my coming out, I have not come out in person. Well, not been able to tell them uh, about myself. I've had to write it down or have somebody else tell. It's just the way I am. I'm really uncomfortable with making other people uncomfortable. I just figure if I stay the same, there won't be any cause for alarm for people. But yeah, when we moved over to Humboldt, I started looking up things to figure out stuff, and I had an idea what transgender was, but I wasn't ready to affix that label to myself because, well, I knew there was the stark possibility that I might not have been. I didn't know. And in fact, I was hoping I wasn't, because man, it's easier just to be a cross-dresser or something like that, because then you don't go full blown. You can keep your family, um, and everything, and all that stuff, because you 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 can actually, if you're a cross-dresser, keep presenting as male most of the time and be happy. But I wasn't happy. I looked it up, looked at everything, and the more I saw it, the more I realized this is exactly what has been going on with me for as long as I can remember, and um, and so I had to come out a second time to my mom. My girlfriend, she figured it out the from when I came out to her at first. So with her, I didn't have to come out to her again. But about a couple of years later, we broke up. So with a long distance relationship, it seemed like a lot shorter of a time. So it's a little different. But yeah, having to come out to people again, and it's especially it's hard a second time, because you realize you're supposed to be closer. No, I was supposed to be closer to my mom, because I'd given her the note. She knew more about me. I should have been more able to tell her in person, but I wasn't. I still had to write a note and give it to her somehow. But she's still accepting. I have not been disowned. My dad doesn't like doesn't think that. Well, he thinks it is Humboldt County's influence. Um, but he has had the worst response. At first, he was trying to understand it, but then my stepmom said that it was just Humboldt County's influence. So it seems that he just sort of co-opted her idea of it. I There's still family members I haven't told, and yeah, I want to tell them, but really they're actually on my dad's side, and he has said that he wants to tell them, and he hasn't told them yet, and it's been a few years. Well, it's been some years. Um, Now I'd go on, but this video is getting pretty long, I know, because the screensaver already went up, and so I'll talk to you later, maybe, or just have a good day. How about that one? Bye.